Lejla, do pak. Njëherë partnerit për prezencën tuaj, unë si mësimdhënëse e kësaj klasës, bashkë me klasat e para, kemi vendosur projekte në gjuhën angleze me tema të ndryshme të cilët ata i kanë zgjedhur sipas nevojave të tyre të cilët i kanë gjetur më të përshtatshme për të diskutuar dhe për të prezantuar. E kemi udhëhecën me radhën e cilën do të keq programin, edhe gjithse janë 4 grupe me tematika të ndryshme. Kështu që edhe njëri faleminderit dhe besoj se u shkoti dhe gjëmë sa si së shkotën për dhe.
Përshëndetje profesorët të nderuar të përgjithësisë shkollës stërvitore. Kemi nderin për pjesëmarrjen tuaj. Sot klasa e para një do ta prezantoj projektin e punuar në gjuhën angleze ku bashkë me mësimdhënëse kemi zgjedhur temat të interesit në moshës tonë. Do të fillojmë me grupin e parë me temën mental health and illness ose smundjet e ndryshme mendore. Prezantuesit e këtij projekti janë Amina Emeri, Medina Bilali dhe Lejla.
Unë jam Amina Emeri dhe sot do të bëjmë për smundjen në anglisht që njihet mental health and mental illness.
Mental health means keeping our minds healthy. Mental health is also a personal issue. What affects you might not affect another person.
The woman physically falls sick can also fall sick mentally. Bad mental health and mental illnesses can be caused due to a lot of things. For example, childhood trauma, child abuse, bullying, cyberbullying, any types of trauma, and the internet. It can even be due to genetics. Bad mental health can also change on how someone thinks, behaves, and their emotions too.
For example, bad mental health can be because of our parents. Parents tend to put their kids down or under a lot of pressure, which is emotional abuse. There is so much more types.
For example, social media and the internet. A lot of kids and teens have too much access to the internet at a very young age, which can lead to them being an easy target to predators. Can also lead to them being manipulated, groomed, and can get that bad that they can get put onto sites that today's society, they are trying to make these sites legal, and that's not okay. So watch what your kids post on the internet and what they do, especially who they talk to.
The World Health Organization reports that 20% of the teenagers in the world suffer from one or more mental disorders.
There's a lot of mental disorders.
We are going to explain some of them and to explain how it feels to be diagnosed with them.
We can start off with anxiety. Everyone experiences anxiety. Can be a teen or an adult, doesn't matter. Even though a lot of us experience anxiety, most people, it's so bad they have to take medication for it. There are several types of anxiety. We can start off with separation anxiety. Separation anxiety is when you are attached to someone that you feel that they're your safe person and you don't like being left alone. And then we have social anxiety. Social anxiety is when you are afraid of being judged by others in public. And panic disorder. Panic disorder is when you have like a overwhelming feeling and have a panic attack. And then we have depression. Depression is the most known mental illness. Depression is known as the silent killer that takes lives without punishment, warning, or any sympathy. Depression usually influences people's emotions and ends up changing the person's life in a major way. Even when participating in activities that used to bring you joy, it can end up making you lose interest in them and secluding yourself from people that you love. Today's society, depression in teens still exists. Even it has shown that depression in teens is much more different than in adults. Regardless of all these facts known about depression, only really a little is known about it. And then most finally we have PTSD, known as post-stress disorder. PTSD is known as a health condition that triggers by terrifying event, witnessing it or experiencing it. Most people who experience traumatic events have difficulties coping and adjusting them. but with time and good self-care, they get better. If someone you know is struggling with mental health or issues, it is important to reach out and help them. Mental health professionals such as psychiatrists, therapists, counselors are there to seek for help.
Surround yourself with people who understand you and judge you for it.
Banit of the reprezentativne grupit të ditë me temën Violence Against Children ose dhoma nga fëmijëve. Prezantuesit e këtij projekti janë Tarik Halemi, Arian Selini, Yusuf Latifi dhe Yasin Nabi.
First off, I want to start by saying hello to everyone. Thank you for your presence and time today. My name is Tarik Halemi, and today some of my classmates and I have decided to choose a project to work on and what's interesting for us. And I think we need to spread awareness about violence against children, which has become too normal nowadays. Violence against children can take many forms. It can be emotional, sexual, physical. It can take place in all settings, such as in schools, homes, communities, everywhere. Although violent discipline is somewhat tolerated in some countries nowadays, as soon as it's for their caregivers, caretakers, parents, or teachers. But the most devastating violence against children are the ones that are hidden from public view, especially those two children who are not able to report it or view it as a bad thing, and it can lead to major trauma and the child not being raised up well. And one of the main types of violence is maltreatment. It involves physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, and it can happen anywhere, and it's also happening in settings such as school and orphanages.
Bullying. Bullying is unwanted aggressivity behavior by another child or group of children who are neither sibling nor in a romantic relationship in the victim. It involves repeated physical, psychological, and social harm, and often takes place in a school and other settings where children gather, and online. Cyberbullying is verbally threatening or harassing behavior conducted through such electronic technology and cell phones, email, social media, or text messaging.
Impact of violence. Violence against children can result has lifelong impact on health and well-being of children, families, and nationals. Violence against children can result in death, homicide, which often involves weapons such as knives and firearms, is among the top cases of death in a young age.
Later service injures very homicide. There are 100 of predominantly male victims of your violence or sustained injuries because of physical fight.
Vazhdojmë prezantimin e grupit 3 me temën History of Albania apo Historia e popullit shqiptar. Prezantuesit janë Lona Hakiku, Meral Bilali, Anuar Bajrami dhe Metin Rexhepi.
Hello everyone. My name is Lejla. Thank you for your attendance. Our topic for today is the history of Albania. The Illyrians were a group of tribes that covered the Western Balkans during the classical times. The territory the tribes covered came to be known as Illyria to Greek and Roman authors. Illyria was found between the Adriatic Sea in the west, the Drava River in the north, the Morava River in the east, and the mouth of Yos River in the south. In the Middle Ages, some parts of this land became the part of the Sicilian Union, and then later to Serbian Empire.
During classical antiquity, Albania was home to several Albanian tribes such as the Ardiei, Albanoi, Amantini, Nxele, Taurandi, and many others, but also Thracian and Greek tribes as well. The Illyrian coast, the Albanians are annexant in Indo-European people who live in Central Europe and migrate south with the beginning of the Iron Age. The Greeks still in the north and the Tusk in the south with Greek colonizers. Along with the area was under Roman rule.
Albanian territories were inhabited since 100,000 years ago. Over the conscious, the Albanian culture has been with Romans, Greeks, Turks, and Italians. The first inhabitants of the present day in Albania were Illyrian tribes, a group of Indo-European people. Albania was proximate independent after almost 5 centuries of Ottoman rule on 28 November 1912, the European Union entered into force.
Projekti I fundit për sot është me temën The History of Posh, historia e Poshes. Prezantuesi I këtij projekti është nxenesve dhe është Fetai.
Hi, my name is nxenesve. Today I will present my project that I have done for the last 2 weeks about my dream car Porsche. Porsche is a German automobile manufacturer specializing in high-performance sports cars, manufactured in Stuttgart, Germany. Porsche was founded in 1930s when the German and Czech and German automobile manufacturing engineer Ferdinand Porsche and his friend Adolf Rosenberger are keys to figure in the creation of the German automobile manufacturing, and his son-in-law Anton Fisch, who was a businessman in Austrian time. After World War II, when Ferdinand will be arrested for his war crimes, his son Friedrich Fisch will take his company and began building his own car, which later will result to the Porsche 365. During the World War II, Volkswagen production turned on the military version, which later designed 2 prototypes of their most famous tanks, Tiger I and the Tiger II. However, all this work was wasted because the Tiger I was used in the elephant tank destroyer. Porsche also developed the most super heavy tank destroyer in the closing stages of the war. The workers wore the letter P on their clothing around the time. It not stood for Porsche, but it stood for Poland. At the end of the war in 1945, the Volkswagen Group and Ivan Hist, a British army major, was put in charge of the company. In 2023, Porsche produced 321,321 vehicles, and the profit is around 37,630 euros. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
Ju falenderojmë për respektin dhe kohën tuaj, shpresojmë që të shihemi në projektin.